Hello, boys and girls. I'm super glad you're watching today because this is the space where we get to learn about God. And this month, we've been learning about integrity. Let's say what it means together, okay? Integrity is choosing to be truthful in whatever you say and do. And so far this month, we've talked about how living with integrity is about more than telling the truth. It's being truthful with your whole life. And here's the thing. Not only do we need to learn to be truthful in what we say and do, but also in the way we think. That's what we're going to talk about today. And our verse is from the book of Philippians 4:8. Now, Paul wrote about this in a letter to the church at Philippi. Like I said, we know this letter as the book of Philippians. And before I read our verse to you, let me tell you a little bit about Paul, or remind you, because this is the Paul who tried to stop people from following Jesus after Jesus resurrected. But then Paul had an experience with God that made him decide to follow Jesus too. You might remember this. He was the one who was blinded on the road to Damascus. Anyway, Paul got his sight back after that encounter with God, and after that he became a follower of Jesus too, like I said. And then he spent the rest of his life telling others about Jesus. Now, Paul's life definitely was not an easy one. He was even put in prison, and not for breaking any laws, but for simply telling others about Jesus. And while he was in prison, Paul wrote several letters, including this one, to the church at Philippi. So read along with me or listen to what he wrote. Finally, my brothers and sisters, always think about what is true. Think about what is noble, right, and pure. Think about what is lovely and worthy of respect. If anything is excellent or worthy of praise, think about those kinds of things. Philippians 4:8. Now, you and I aren't in prison like Paul, but we can find ourselves in situations we don't like all the time. For example, you have to finish the broccoli on your plate, and you really, really, really don't like broccoli. I mean, maybe it's going to ruin your whole night because you are just stuck on thinking, why couldn't it have been yummy Brussels sprouts instead? Or let's see, here's another situation. Something fun that you wanted to do got canceled, and all you can think is, this is the worst. And then it just ruins your day, and it might even ruin your whole week because you can't stop thinking about how bad it is. Or what about this? You get into an argument with your brother or sister, and your mom tells you to apologize, but you are feeling too mad and stuck on thinking angry thoughts, so apologize right then. The point is, we can choose what we focus on. We can choose to focus on what we don't like or what we're not comfortable. Now, I'm not saying that you have to ignore your feelings, because that doesn't work ever, but there is something that you can do that will help turn your thoughts and feelings in a different direction. Let's look back at our verse. Paul said, we can think about what is true. We can think about what is noble, right, and pure. We can think about what is lovely and worthy of respect. And we can think about what is excellent and worthy of praise. In other words, we can choose to think about good things. Well, what's good about broccoli on your plate, you might ask? And I know some of you like broccoli, I do too, but this is just an example, so let's go with it. What's good about that unpalatable food on your plate that you must finish? Well, it's good for your body, if not your taste buds. And your mom or your grown-up took the time to make dinner for you and cares about you so much that they made something that is good for your body, even though it was going to possibly cause some major frustration at the dinner table for everybody. So even if the broccoli isn't lovely or worthy of respect in your opinion, your mother, your grown-up is. And God provided your family with the means for that dinner. And while you may not be feeling that thankful for that broccoli, you can be thankful for God providing it. Also, maybe another dinner will be your favorite and very yummy Brussels sprouts or whatever. Remember, I'm not saying to ignore your feelings. They are real, and it's important to work through them. And sometimes your feelings can tell you things that you need to do something about. I'm just saying that when you have really big feelings and big thoughts that make you sad or scared or angry, it's important to also remember and think about what is true. And here's what is true. God loves you more than you can even imagine. and God is closer to you than you realize. And you know what, boys and girls? You can trust God no matter what, especially with your big feelings and your big thoughts. So this week, let's focus on what's true. And that's our bottom line. Let's say it again together. Ready? Focus on what is true.